Well, hello, kia ora, back my lovely, beautiful stars. I hope you are all well. And I just want to start by saying thank you very much to all my new subscribers. I couldn't believe the amount of new subscribers that I got overnight. So thank you very, very much. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy this channel. As I said in the final handshake royal engagement reading, I intimated that I was going to do a reading with regards to the connection of, I'm going to be using code here, the EPS and the Hermit and the Nutmeg, and then the place that has got a star as part of their country. And also what started me on this whole thing again, and poor Shanta is probably going to be so sick of me from Mystical Fortune Tarots. She did a reading and it just hasn't left me. And it's also been over all the platforms, no matter where you looked. And I see there's actually commentators on YouTube that's actually commenting on it as well. So I think you all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that photo that came out. My guides drew me in a direction. I didn't want to go in the direction, but I kept circling back. Then I've got a friend who works with some tools that can actually do some recognition of images. Let's put it this way. And we sort of like played around with it, and we sort of ran that photo through the imager, and we also picked up some very interesting details that a lot of people have missed. And some of those interesting details are too big to ignore. Have you guys noticed the two men on either side of the person that allegedly looks like Epps? Have you guys zoomed in, and if you noticed the hearing aids that they are wearing? Those hearing aids are normally assigned for people in certain positions of protection. And have you guys also done a little bit of a dive into the photo behind and what's going on in the photo behind? I'm not making any accusations. I'm not saying anything. I'm just going on what was physically visible and seen. And when we started doing some cross-referencing with Google Maps images, and we started looking at some landmarks, etc., etc., some things actually became quite clear of where that photograph was taken. And I've left this Hermit card out here because I just want to point to you guys, if you look inside there, how beautifully shaped the light is. So that photo seems to have been allegedly taken in quite a high diplomatic corridor. That is according to what we could find on Google Maps, and public view and public domain. So that is what we could view, what we could see online. Just remember, tarot is for fun and entertainment purposes only. We are just reading energies of the card, and we're just going on what is in the public domain here. We are not saying yes or no. We are literally just looking what our own eyes can see. Then, something very interesting, and I don't know if I should mention it. No, I'm not. Go and look in the comments and look in the description box. I'm going to leave something in there, and what the result was after my friend worked his magic. And that result showed one or two things. It was either yes or a plant. I know I'm talking in code, but I don't want this channel to be ghosted. I don't want this channel to be taken down. That's why go and look at my description box. I will leave a note there. And I might even pin a comment. I'll see. I might not put it in the comments, but it might be in the description box. Just go and have a look there. And this Hermit here came up in the sovereign extraction reading. And that is what tweaked my intuition into that. And that's why I kept sitting with it. So that's why I kept this card out, so that we can just know that this is where this whole reading has stemmed from. Also, when we are looking at this whole scenario, there are just too many coincidences. Too many coincidences. Too many things are happening at the same time. Quiet meetings and powerful rooms where the public is not invited. And let's note that this is not a reading about personalities. This is about strategy, containment, extraction, distraction. And if you've watched the sovereign extraction reading and the royal engagement reading, this is a continuation of that. And it's sitting in the same energetic storyline. And it's got the same, and let's see if it's going to show the same archetypes here. But in both those readings, there were the same archetypes. And this is just where the plot really, really thickens. So just to reiterate again, tarot is for entertainment and intuitive insight purposes only. This is symbolic storytelling, pattern recognition, and energetic inspiration, not factual claims. So, with this said, we are going to have some serious fun today, my friends. I'm going to put this card back in the deck, and let's see what comes of it. So, this reading is through formed repeating patterns across multiple spreads, multiple external readings from different people, and these readings are mirroring each other, and it's storylines and symbolic repetition and imagery and intuitive guidance that is pointing towards a movement and containment. When multiple sources tell the same story in different languages, on different platforms, in different ways, let's just leave it at that. So let's have a look and see. And I'm going to be calling in my guides, my ancestors, and anybody here present that would like to stay in the light, no darkness allowed. Stay in the light of this guidance and give us messages that are not gossip. I want messages that are energy based, and it's messages that I would like to give the collective based on everything that is out there, spread around all over. Sorry, a little bit here, a little bit there. Drip, 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 while we're trying to balance the scale. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Sorry for the long introduction, but I just needed to get the narrative out, and I was just trying to get my cards, even though they're already in the energy, just to feel this new energy. And depending on where this reading goes, and what the cards are saying, potentially going to be another one in regards to EPS. and extractions. But let's see where it goes. As per normal, I'm going to cut the cards in 3, then I'm going to do my 5, 3, 2, 1, and let's quickly have a look here. 3 cuts. Oh, these are jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. Okay, my cards, let's have a look here. Sorry, I had a glimpse of the first one. I was being naughty, sorry. Let's have a look here. So I just want to sort this out. Okay. And please excuse, we've decided to have lunch again, and where I'm situated and based, I don't have anywhere where I can close doors and lock myself off. I'm standing in the galley of the boat doing my readings, and that is close to the back of the exit of the boat, and this is where Fur Baby's lunch bowls are. And every time he can pick up on the energies, I don't know, he gets hungry. Just crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, let's have a look here at the first row. 7 of Cups, Page of Swords, Lovers in reverse, 5 of Wands, and the Cups. Okay, who's on you? As we all know, 7 of Cups, illusion, delusion, misdirection. This is what is the 7 of Cups here is telling me. The public is being shown multiple possibilities and stories at once, and no one lands on exactly the correct one. This archetypal term is a confusion field. Look what is behind all the smoke and the mirrors and what's behind the clouds. And this is where you can see again, there's a conductor here. Somebody's conducting all of this confusion. A little bit here, a little bit there, conducting. And, I'm sorry, doesn't that look like the Burj Khalifa? The shape? Doesn't it look like royal jewels? There's a snake in the grass. And there's somewhere there's victory. There's also the skeleton here, which is like a face. It almost looks like an altered face. And again, a face. The structure of a face, which is the skeleton, and what we see on the face with skin on and the longer hair. And that red around there for me, that is a red flag almost. And while all of this confusion is happening, everybody on platforms, everybody in the audience, everybody is arguing about things. Is it this version? Is it that version? Is it real? Is it even real? Is it just clickbait? Is it AI? And speaking of AI, don't be too quick to jump to conclusions that everything is always AI generated. My friend has actually told me it's actually very easy to get an AI watermark or AI metadata print on an image if you've got the right technology. Or you can even just run a normal picture through AI and get an AI signature if you want to distract. Just saying, fun and entertainment purposes only. I told you we're going to have some fun today. This energy is busy surrounding the narrative that is happening around EPS. And the resurfacing of that imagery, it is definitely connected somehow to this whole EPS thing. But instead of clarity, we the people, we the viewers, are flooded with speculation, lookalikes, doubles, old timelines, new timelines, all designed to blur the truth with the clouds. And give me 2 seconds here. Sorry, just to explain why the clanging is there. He's quite a short, tiny little dog. He's got his name tag with phone numbers on it, plus his doggy registration number around his neck. And because he's such a little short, you know what, he, when he eats, and he's got a metal bowl, so when he eats, his little metal name tag things against the metal bowl. And I use metal because it's a lot more hygienic for, to keep it clean for whatever. Quite pedantic with him. But yes, that's the noise that you are hearing. Let's try and move away past that noise and distraction that is trying to culminate here. And as I was busy saying, is the Sevens of Cups is literally creating a war amongst people. Not a war like in a pew-pew war, but it is like warring factions. Let's phrase it that way. Then we get this Page of Swords, and this Page of Swords very, very nicely here. Because as I learned from Chantal, what she always used to say is that swords are words. And she always says that this is her little internet card. Not the big media. And where did this all come from? It all came from the net that is Inter. But if you've noticed here, it all came in a very foul, very quick swoop. Everything came in a very, very quick swoop. And there's chatter out there. Little birds, chatter out there. But if you look at the sword here, it's going off the card. And going off the card, you can't see the tip. So there's still more. There is more to this story. It's not cutting through 100% here. And this is energetically how it for me links to the EPS related image. The confusion and the very, very sudden re-entering into the public sphere. And at this very specific moment in time, not randomly, I would say it is strategically. And this card often represents, as I said, the media handlers, junior operatives, social media drops, and it is things that are moving fast. And it's designed to create spark and energy and whatever. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to point here. What do you guys see there in the background? Beautiful trees blowing in the wind. Royal palms, I would say, that you only get on islands, or if you import them and plant them in your property. Let's move on. I'm taking up your time here. I'm blabbing too much, but I say we're going to have fun today. I'm trying to have fun in this heavy energy. The Lovers here. The Lovers upright, we know, is the culmination of coming together. I hope you enjoy my little outfits that I've made for them. And this little outfit reminds me of a little diaper that the crybaby Hermit would potentially wear. So if you also look at the hair, sort of the gingham color. And my little designer outfit. But in reverse, this to me is where the archetypes actually start meeting. There's something bigger underneath them that is directing this. Not in a nice way. This upright, it is bringing together. And if you look here, it's almost like I'm pushing apart. And the wingtips are also off the edge. So we can't see what is on those wings. This is a strategic uncoupling. It is the separation for optics, not for emotion, because we all know, allegedly, there's no real emotion there. And this is definitely a card that fits Nutmeg and the Hermit storyline. When lovers show up in this reverse in public, and remember that jiggy 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 on the lawn, I wrap my ankles around your waist dance. Also, just look at the timing of when that came out. Start joining the dots. That's why I sometimes sit back and I just sit in the energy and I play around with it until certain other things fall in place. Look at the timing of that as well. And now these two energies is getting to a point where they no longer can be seen in public together. So energetically, we are getting a public narrative and we're being prepared for distance between Nutmeg and the Hermit figures. And it's not because of romance. What romance? Sorry, I'm going to edit that out. But because proximity becomes inconvenient in a larger story here. And it's almost wanting to point me to the previous reading where I mentioned subpoenas. And this card is basically telling me here, it's confirming that reading, that this is a distancing to protect legally and with optics. And also what everything has been turning around with the whole Mountbatten, Windsor, Andrew scenario. There is danger management coming through here, and there's a move that needs to be made. Because all these things at the same time, I don't call it coincidence, I call it fun. And here we have a look, the Five of Wands. It's chaos, but it's controlled chaos. Nobody is actually hitting each other. It almost looks play, almost put on, but it's still chaos. And you see how this one here, this bigger, taller fella, has got the pole sort of like resting, almost like a line, almost like a barrier that is being put between, or is on its way to enter between. Because that there, that is protecting there. That is up in the air. And this is wanting to strike down. But there's something coming in. If this stick just moves slightly in between there, and it swings around, it can actually break that whole thing up. Sorry, I'm getting very image conscious here at the moment. And everybody, and it's also telling me that everybody is arguing. Everybody is fighting and commenting in sections. There's multiple theories, multiple clashes, and somewhere beneath all of this conflict, there's a buried truth. And this card, I think, is what is explaining to me why every time the storyline resurfaces, you know, the storyline of the photo surfaces, it becomes divisive instead of clarity. The chaos itself becomes a shield and the story. This Knight of Cups here is the first time that he's shown up. It's almost like performance and upright. Look what I've got, look what I've got. But here in reverse, This for me is almost like emotional theatre. The Knight of Cups shows narratives designed to feel dramatic, tragic, emotional, shocking, but they're not organic. Sorry, I'm getting very animated here today. Do you excuse me? The card says this is an emotional framing and everything is curated so that the public's isn't reacting to reality. They reacting to storyboard narratives. That's the word I'm looking for. A storyboard. And how many storyboards and vision boards has a certain person done? So, in all seriousness here now, so what we're actually currently seeing in public is confusion, the Seven of Cups, triggered media drops, Page of Swords, a strategic separation, noise and arguments, and emotional theatre. And now, that's the stage set for row 2. Let's have a look here. Mortician in reverse. Look at that. The moon. Moon. There we go. There we go. Need I say more? Need I say more? Look at it. The magician, the trickster energy underneath the Page of Swords. It's a manipulation game. It is. This card represents those who manufacture the appearance. This is where this whole EPS thing connects into the story energetically. Not as a person, but I think it is almost a template of how the shadow network works. It is illusion crafting, doubt staging, staging emerging, planned narratives. And this magician in reverse's energy is of, you see what we allow you to see. We're continuing letting you see what we want you to see. We are closing, excuse me, sorry about that. Sorry, he's just broken the energy here, but he feels the energy when I'm doing readings. And that was now asking me for permission if he can go through to the bedroom and hop on the bed and go and lie there. That was not asking for permission. Sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, where were we? The magician. This magician is what they're saying we're allowed to see. And see how this magician is sitting next to this illusion, delusion, the moon card. And this moon card that is sitting directly underneath the lovers here. And didn't I just say something about shadow networks before I got barked at? It must be right, because he started barking just as I said shadow networks. What is happening in the shadows? Hidden roots, hidden agreements, hidden movements, hidden deals. And this card links almost to the star symbol in a way. You know, I don't know why it comes to my head, the star. Hope and healing. But it is more to do with secrecy and covert operations and unseen corridors of power, allegedly. And the moon confirms here that parts of the story operate in the darkness. And we, the public, are not allowed to see it. We will create the narratives for you. The Queen of Swords, decisions have been made. And with this Queen of Swords sitting here next to this illusion card and forming part of this triangle for me here, it's telling me that this is not just a divorce of personas, but a divorce of narratives as well. But it's also telling me that there are some legal stuff happening behind the scenes. And it is telling me that optics are being managed here. And exposure is being managed here. They're trying to keep things fair and make it look above board. And then just look here in the card at the bottom here. There's a butterfly. What are butterflies? Transformation. New beginnings. New beginnings. And look here. The direction of the trees. These trees remind me of island trees. And these trees almost remind me of Portuguese trees. I don't know why it keeps coming up, but it is what it is. And this card is telling me is who decides when separation is going to happen, when extraction is going to happen, and when certain narratives are going to be released. Let's have a look here. Okay, thank you very much. Might as well say goodbye now. This is just confirming everything. Remember, in the previous readings, the Six of Swords card came up as well. The Six of Swords card came up as well. This is confirming the Lovers and the Queen of Swords. The narratives that are being spun here. This Four of Pentacles came up in the Sovereign Extraction reading, if I remember. Go and have a look and let me know. But let's quickly look at the six here. It's the extractor archetype, and it is moving from troubled, endangered waters across borders to where things are safer, where things can be controlled and things can be managed. And this is where I think the Hermit figure is being connected, and he's being repositioned. This move is going to happen quietly. Look here, and strategically and protective, and it's not going to be spontaneous. It's going to happen when we least expect it. In the previous reading, I made reference to the two figures that's always got their backs to the cameras. Is this part of the plan? Or as I said in that reading, I think they're sitting too close to the unstable waters, and there are some swords in the way that are still blocking something there for me. But this figure is already on the move. Now this Four of Pentacles here, this again, this is my containment, the containment archetype. The containment archetype. And it's telling me almost here that, look again, the two different architectural designs there. It's telling me that in this instance, that you'll be protected, but you won't be free, because you'll be bound to the ground with money that you need, but a line has been drawn. And it fits this narrative of the relocation. If you look at the images in the background. And it's a controlled environment. It's a neutral zone. Or a place where oversight is easier. Protection and restriction here comes in one. We'll protect you, and you'll have a little bit of money to live. You'll be on neutral ground to live, but the line is drawn, and we are separating you from both countries, so that either country can't get their hands on you. That's what my guides are telling me. Take it, leave it, make with it what you want. And this reading is going on quite long, my friends. I apologize for that, but as I said, we're having fun here today. Thank you. This is confirmation. Upright, it's not going to be an instant, immediate collapse. The crown is not going to be hit off. The crown is being protected here. It's strategic. We are pulling you out. And this card came up in both those readings. And I'm doing them on separate days. I've got to give them a rest. Shame, it's poor cards. And we are trying to be presented as if this is not a real crisis. It's a managed crisis. And the card explains to me why all this shocking material is coming out right before important background movements. Chaos, to me, it's being said here, is being scheduled, controlled chaos. And then you're probably wondering, what's the underlying card? Let's have a look here. What's the underlying card? Judgment. Oh, oops. Sorry. My outfit has come off. Gotta make a better plan here. I'm so tired of YouTube and their stuff. There's much worse stuff on YouTube that gets through, but poor us gets hit with little pictures that's been around for I don't know how many hundreds of years. This is accountability. This reading has come up for me in other readings in reverse, where it says no more second chances. But yes, there are no more second chances. This is now the final judgment here. This is legal consequences, I think, that is linked to potential testimonies and exposure and reckoning. We are trying to prevent that, because that is what it's all about. They cannot afford something else, something more. They've got enough on their hands as it is. But all of that has come out was all targeted, allegedly, targeted, orchestrated releases. And now the firm and the crown and the king and the chariot has made a decision that judgment is now coming. We are taking judgment in our hands. I don't know why this has come in my head. Sorry. I just had a massive download. Look here at the figure standing with their hands out. It's almost like we're asking for money. We're asking for things to come out. We're asking for things to be judged. Don't know why I'm thinking this, but allegedly my guides have told me it has something to do with a trust, a sovereign trust, a royal trust, some connection somewhere to secure money and get money to victims. And it suddenly also just told me that there's this victim scenario. There's something more with it. Why is all these victims coming out now? Yes, what has happened was absolutely disgusting. But they are no longer needed as victims anymore. They don't need that type of scandal anymore. There's other ways of getting control of people in power. Technology has moved along. I'm sorry, that is just a download that I got. Very unexpected. Whoa! I've got goosebumps. And I think here what the cards are trying to show us is coordinated operation. Our Hermit is being repositioned. The Nutmeg's proximity becomes inconvenient. EPS remains a shadow template behind how these operations work. And this here, with this moon here, is almost symbolic for me. And it links it for me to the star symbology in the Hermit card. Where did the Hermit go? I'm surprised the Hermit didn't come up in this reading. But we all saw it in the beginning. The Star of 6 points. Ah, there we go. The Star of 6 points. It's telling me there is a lot more to the story. And I think we've moved past the point of it being a romantic scandal or a romance scandal or a romance, or this is liability management. And if this extraction is real, then I think the next logical question will be, where does the shadow go when it's too dangerous and too visible? And I think that is going to be the next reading of how the shadow figure became a shadow figure. Until I see you then, my friends. Sorry for the long reading, but my guides just didn't stop. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.